How you guys all doing? We got some Tuco news today. Should we watch the trailer first? Let's watch the trailer. New music also, by the way. These skins, the 8-bit taunts, by the way. Also, Ahri's fireball is different, and when it hits, it gives you points. These skins are insane, the arcade skins. When we went and played Caitlyn, I played this Vi skin. It's awesome. And level 3, the cutscenes, like they're so cool. This brrring, and you get the points at the arcade KO. Yeah, they're real good.
The sooner we book them, the sooner we get to tea.
When are they gonna make a coffee character, man? When is Riot Video Games making a coffee drinker? Excited.
Not on my watch.
Yeah, boom. Yeah, Ahri has like 5 skins now. These skins are cool. These are the Chroma Clash skins.
We need cover.
We need cover.
I've always got time.
This Ekko skin's really cool. I also used this skin when I went in. But I hadn't seen the Ahri skin in action, or the Blitzcrank skin, or the B skin, or I didn't know that Darius had a new skin. I think it's cool that it's a Zon on there. Yeah, this skin's cool. I didn't see these either. I didn't like use these ones. I didn't know this skin existed. At the office, Brian played Darius and played color 1 default Darius. And I didn't even know he had a new skin because Brian didn't even pick it. This skin's cool too. Dude, Teemo skins are so cool, guys. Like the red fire with the presents, this outfit and the little hat. Oh. This skin is so good. Like this Teemo skin. Oh my god, they're both so good. The B skin. They're so good. Dude, both of them are really, really solid. Did you see how high that hit, by the way? This Warwick change is crazy. I didn't play Warwick there, but this combo is very consistent now, huh? Look at how high that is. Also, charge hook baiting parry and then giving you a combo. I literally got hit by this 100% of times. I don't think a single time I didn't try to parry that. Yeah, they're bringing back all the other skins from the first season too. There you go. This is a season 1 trailer. You can queue from training mode as well. So let's go over the patch notes, buffs, nerfs, all the new stuff going on. There's a new trailer. You can buy her with 1,000 KO points, 1 token, or the Ultra Pass bundle, or you can unlock her through the recruitment event. In Valorant and stuff, it takes like a week or 2, right? Usually to get them. So my guess is like, it's probably similar time if you're waiting. After 3 weeks, you can buy her for 10,000 credits. You can also training mode at the same time. They've got like trophies now, makes sense. Will I be able to get the content from PC early access? They said, yep, they're bringing stuff back, and there's crossplay. And the accounts are cross progression, and you don't have to pay to play them. You don't need a subscription service. Ranked lobbies from training mode, pretty useful. The thing for me is I get matches so fast that I don't even know how useful the training mode would be. Might depend on where you are. During the recruitment event, play games and complete missions to unlock new champions for free. Progress will be displayed on the progression, collection, and lobby pause menu. So we'll have to see what the actual like things you got to do to unlock her are. At the start of the season, you get your ranked rewards. There's new missions and daily missions, tutorials, expert combo trials for each champion. So I didn't try these, but I was told expert combo trial 5 is like impossible. So I'll do these and we'll see how they go. System changes, usually the most important because character balance can like slide around, but the system of the game is the thing that you interact with every character in every match. More system changes are on the way with the next champion launch, and we'll have a bigger picture of what will fall into that patch soon. Core gameplay and projectile rules to start. Projectiles often lead to no-win situations for the defender. Either hit the champion and get hit by the projectile, or block the projectile and eat a mix-up. We're cleaning up this interaction to have clearer outcomes. Projectiles now disappear under these conditions. When the character that fired the projectile is hit, when the point champion is hit. This is a big nerf to characters that are like throwing projectiles and dipping. In older games, projectiles and stuff staying when your character gets hit is more common. In newer games, I think stuff going away is much more common. The following moves are not impacted by this change. Any ultimate, Jinx super, Braum super, or his Porotos, Teemo super, or his S2 super, and Illaoi, all her tentacle attacks are not impacted by this. Projectile attacks that are chargeable now fire automatically when performing a handshake tag. Hitting a champion during the recovery frames of firing a mid-air projectile will cause an interrupt. This is like counter hit state. If an assist fires in multiple projectiles, hitting the point champion will prevent more projectiles from firing. So backdash and forward dash adjustments. They say they've redistributed movement on our fastest backdash so that they now travel backwards evenly across the backdash. Previously, champions move much further at the start of their backdash than at the end. This slows down backwards chaining backdashes while keeping the distance traveled relatively similar. I think that backdashes have never been the problem. The problem is that engaging with characters while they're backdashing is hard because their assists have no cooldown and their air options were really belligerent. Nerfing the movement, I dislike. Think about when Darius or Braum or Illaoi is running at you in this version of the game. Can you backdash and get away from them? The answer is actually like usually no, if they have an assist or if they are like near you, like if they're absolute full screen, then maybe. But like generally no. And like think about Jinx like trying to set up against the fast characters or something. You already like can't get away with her slow backdash as an example. So what's gonna happen is the characters with air options will be even more powerful to me with this change. Like that's what my fear is with this. Universal lights are now 7 instead of 8. So that makes things easier to punish, easier to challenge on things. Hitting an assist wasn't punishing enough, they say. Running away and calling assist is a powerful neutral strategy, so we're adding counterplay to make bad assist calls more risky. Hitting an assist now causes a 4-second cooldown. When an assist is parried, they lose collision, which is important because that means you can now like run through them and then run up and go to the other character instead of being body blocked. Assist UI now appears faster when performing an assist. Dead champion should ruin less happy birthdays because they now disappear as soon as they are hit. These are all awesome changes, right? Activating break will now put your assist on a 2-second cooldown. You will have a small window to handshake tag while your assist is still on the screen before the cooldown starts. And this is pretty nice. Juggernaut Fuse, they gave it more health. They increased it by 10% up to 130 from 120. They doubled the amount of bursts you build. Eject power has better. If they have recoverable health, a successful eject hit will now heal 50 more health. 100 health is pretty decent. Depends on how often you actually do it. Now gains break meter successfully on clean hit. Advantage on hit is increased. Can now pass through an opponent on court. Oh my God. That's cool. If you're gonna buff anything about Juggernaut, I think that eject is like the coolest thing it has, so sure. Input changes, you can no longer card cancel level 1 into level 3s. This didn't come up that often, but there are some scenarios where it would happen. Training mode has a guard action setting set for push block, and bot position settings when set to crouch, they'll perform a retreating guard action. Okay. Bunch of bug fixes. Neutral jump instead of a forward jump. That one is annoying. Fix a bug where players couldn't go back to locking in their champions while their opponents had their controls menu open in local versus. Annoying. Fixed a bug that reverted some core gameplay adjustments when launching the game in offline mode. Yeah, if you use offline mode randomly, like some of the stuff from the last patch wouldn't work. This is what people call the jump bug. Character would jump the opposite way. And a lot of things in the game work this way. So if someone crosses you up and you do an Ekko rewind, Ekko would rewind the opposite direction. You're holding towards them and you try to do dash throw and you're holding this direction, right? If they roll through you, you will go the opposite direction and then throw them. Very annoying because you are literally holding a direction and your character would go the wrong way. Fixed a bug where champions were able to perform a push block into an assist while using 2x. That's so stupid. Fixed a bug where hitting an assist with a sweep at high hit stun will cause the assist to fall indefinitely. That's funny. Point champions will no longer warp to unexpected locations after a limit strike wall bounce while the assist champion was on screen. Fixed a bug which would occasionally cause double down knock to activate. Sidekick can no longer perform 2 supers for the cost of 1. A variety of training mode bugs have been fixed. Across all bot settings, setting the bot to random no longer performs the same action when loading a save state. This is really nice. Ultimates no longer met up counter hit settings for bots. Fixed a bug that prevented bots from being interrupted while performing wake up reversals. Fixed a bug where tag launcher didn't display the active frames. Really, really nice. I think system change is dope. The only one I'm not sure about is backdash. What people are seeing is like people backdashing away and calling assists, which was more popular and is now not that popular. The actual thing is like going into the air is so powerful because of handshake tag plus belligerent options. And I'm not sure that I think backdash was the problem here personally, but we'll have to see how this actually feels once we get a chance to test the changes. Otherwise, I think they changed literally everything that I would think is a problem with system changes. There's only a few other things that I think are like pretty annoying. They're like small things that I've mentioned before. So if they ever change, they change. And if not, they're just my complaints. So, Ahri, she's a good character. They're primarily taking a hit at her aerial dash and grounded runaway. Mid-air Foxfire Blast no longer refreshes Ahri's air dash and her back dash has been slowed down. I think a lot of people read this change on Twitter and was like, Ahri is dead. She can't air dash after a fireball anymore in the air. That's not the change. The change is right now, If you air dash and then shoot an air fireball with Ahri, you can air dash again. So you can't air dash, then shoot a fireball, then air dash again. That's the only difference. It doesn't change your combos. It doesn't change a lot of pressure sequences. Usually it changes neutral, which is a nerf to her neutral, but she kind of could just stall doing nothing the whole time. It was very hard to approach her for a lot of characters. So these are the projectile rules stuff. This is all the same. It just doesn't get 2H anymore. This is a huge buff. You know, when you jump, you beta 2H and then your forward assist gets 2H. That's really annoying. This is a nice buff for her. This is a universal nerf, right? To all the fast characters. Her M having less range is like a pretty big deal. And then this is a big nerf to her neutral. I think it was kind of belligerent before. She just got to do nothing all game while never committing and always being safe. Down S2 is airborne on frame 10. Now it's airborne on frame 1. I've maybe a little bit worse at like baiting throw, I guess, but like this isn't a move that people use that often. They usually just air dash J2H anyway. Her spirit rush assist, hurt box height has been increased and it can now be hit by more standing attacks, but it doesn't lose the 2Hs. Up forward spirit rush, hit stun has been increased by 2 frames and it now has more hit stun scaling applied on all combos. This increased hit stun allows it to compete against Warwick more easily and Ahri's core combo changes. You could adjust to this already, but I see why they would do this. Cool, and then there's some bug fixes. Overall, I would say that Ahri's power level is down a little bit, but like if you're good with the character and you're thoughtful, I don't think this will matter too much. The projectile system change is actually good for her because her downness one already did that, and like the rest of her core strong stuff is still there. Like her orb super in neutral and in combos is the exact same. I think she'll be one of the best characters in the game still. She'll be really strong. The crank. They say Blitz is not strong enough to compete at top levels of play. We're making updates to the normals and hurt boxes to allow them to scrap up in neutral. To help Blitzcrank throw out more limbs, we've removed many of their extended hurt boxes, made them faster, and improved their ground normals. So the universal change to make lights faster, which is really nice. Hurt boxes on hands have been removed on most grounded attacks, and the legs have been removed on midair M and H. First hit of 2M is now slightly taller. First hit of 2M hit stun has been increased. On airborne opponents, 2L will now combo into 2M more consistently. So if they're, you know, jumping out of your command grabs and stuff. First hit of 2M will now combo into H more consistently, so this is really scary. Push less back from performing Wrecking Ball on grounded opponents in the corner, so you're closer and you can like pull up. M hitbox is further. H hitbox now travels farther as well. You can't retreating guard and then whip punish probably as easily, which is something you could do a lot right now. Running H goes over lows. Back H hits further behind Blitzcranks. Air hit stun has been increased by 5 frames. Ground hit stun is increased by 2 frames. Launch height against airborne opponents has been lowered to help with follow-ups, and they're just making it better in every way, basically. Down S1 active frames have been increased. That's not like a huge thing, but it's nice. Forward S2 damage is up. Midair garbage collection, 25 steam on hit, and some bug fixes. In general, just like all buffs, like it's harder for characters to run away from Blitz because the movement is worse. The character's faster and they have better normals in every way. In general, just better. This character might be Thanos. We're taking big swings on Braum's kit to improve his general feel. His shield now more consistently shields his teammate through various bug fixes, and Stand Behind Me, his back assist, has a new animation and lasts for significantly longer. He no longer loses Unbreakable when performing his S2 super. This is the super that gave him Unbreakable. This should improve his performance in combination with various offensive improvements such as faster Ls, faster forward movement, better hitboxes. Basically, when you hit people with Braum and you already had Unbreakable, you didn't want to do S2 super again, even though it was the more damaging super because you would lose your ice. So now, like, he can just do it at the end of every combo if he wants. His light's faster and his forward movement speed's faster. These are universal changes, and Blitzcrank got the same thing. This is the one they just mentioned where you get to keep your ice. Stand Behind Me has a new animation, and he now walks forward, and its duration has been increased by 24 frames. Half a second longer. It was 26 frames and now it's 60 frames. He is on the screen for 1 second. I already think this character was really belligerent. He would just swing at you and just go apeshit, and he was really annoying to deal with. Now I'm scared. Oh, this is not the right math, actually. 50 frames is like most of a second still anyway, but yeah. When he does 2H2H, he now turns around. Down S2 icicle hitboxes are now bigger. Unbreakable down S2 shouldn't drop on happy birthdays. Battering Ram no longer has a projectile destruction dead zone between the charge and release of the attack, and it now makes Braum's hand and arm immune to projectiles during the attack. Midair M hitbox is improved. The lower part of midair M now hits closer to Braum. 6H hitboxes have been reduced. Down H hitboxes are larger, and tag launcher has been adjusted to make its animation better. Forward H damage is higher for some reason. His down S2 damage has been increased by 5, so he gets a little bit more. Normal improvements: standing L is 2 frames faster. 2L has been decreased by 2 frames. His M and down M hit stun has been increased by 2 frames, so it's easier to hit confirm and stuff. They combo into 6H now, which is a pretty nice buff. Like being able to do 5M into 6H instead of having to do 5H sweep or like M2M or whatever, comboing right into 1-2 is like insane. Down forward heavy, forward transition has been adjusted. It travels further on first hit and less on second hit. This makes it better at catching retreating guard. Buffs, Poros now have additional projectile durability and remove most standard projectiles like Ekko's Timewinder and Jinx rockets. You have a worse backdash and all projectiles go away on hit, and his tackle is projectile invul, and his projectile beats projectiles. And I'm supposed to zone this character? I think for as mad as people have been at the good characters, if this character is the best, people will be more mad by quite a lot. Down S1 hitbox hits a little further. Catch rolls and cross-ups a little better. Air S2 while not unbreakable can now cause a tumble reaction on grounded opponents, matching its behavior while unbreakable. Very nice. Down S2 has been decreased by 2 frames. Whoa. He's advantage with down S2. It moves slow though, but that's a nice change for him. Bunch of bug fixes. Fix Braum's weird neck during his intro. Okay. Caitlyn, she's in the game. Darius. Darius had trouble opening up opponents because Apprehend can be parried on reaction. To improve Apprehend, we're making it chargeable, while also improving his neutral by reducing the startup, recovery, and cooldown time of his fireball. His L is faster, it's universal change. Down S2 can be performed faster after the projectile is erased. Startup is faster, recovery is less, hit stun is increased, launch arc has been adjusted, and his H hurt box size has been decreased, so his H is better. He's got power wave now. He just goes ground wave, ground wave. He just throws fireballs. This thing is really crazy, I think. Offensive improvements is L has more range, Apprehend can be charged, and it's plus on block. You can't do the follow-ups, but you are able to like combo off of it. Final hit of Break the Line, which is forward S2. Forward S2 causes them to fall slightly slower. This is nice. That makes it so that you can like pick up with your assist or whatever better. Sunder knockdown duration has been increased when hitting a grounded opponent as well. Darius isn't lacking in damage, so we're being gentle in our buffs here. We're adding additional benefits to S1M on blocking opponents and generally improving his damage on S1 follow-ups. So he has more damage on headbutt from his hook, bleeding opponents with S1M, more meter gain, and it deals 30 chip damage to bleeding opponents. 30 chip damage to bleeding opponents. I bet you can like true string hook M headless and just kill them. Meter gain on bleeding opponents has been increased by 2 if you do S2, S2. S2, S2 chip damage to bleeding opponents was decreased by 5. I see. I think Braum and Darius are both going to be like really powerful and also really belligerent. They're just going to pull up on you and kill you next patch, and it's going to be like, well, Ekko's really good. To reduce the power, we're drawing a line in the sand. He can no longer cancel a failed throw into replay. I think this is a good change, actually, in general. I don't even think just for the burrito, which people don't really do anymore, but because in his pressure, he too often can just like rewind, go for a throw, whiff the throw, rewind, and then do like 2H or something and still anti-air you. You know what I mean? This is a good change. His down forward light has more hit stun and pushes the opponent less far away on hit. He's kind of bad at catching retreating guard, so this is a nice change. Run H now increments combo scaling by 1 instead of 3. No one's using this move really. It's like a pressure move sometimes. It's not really that common, but that's nice. Can no longer rewind out of a failed throw attempt. I do throw almost constantly in my install pressure, and the reason is that you can just do like S2 rewind, throw, rewind, and if they jump, you can anti-air them, and if you whiff, you're like still plus. In general, really frustrating. This is a really good change. He got the same change as Ahri, which is his medium has been slightly decreased, and his overhead hit stun has been decreased on interrupt. I noticed this immediately because I counter hit Brian's throw with it, and then I couldn't do MH. You have to do L after. So he can't solo combo on counter hit overhead anymore, which is a big nerf and probably makes sense unless he's in range for L. It just makes the scaling a lot worse. First hit of Mega Timewinder Super now causes damage scaling. This will reduce Ekko's overall damage on stray hits, and his block stun has been decreased by 6 frames. It's minus 28. This is just normal. Just nerfing it so that his level 3 is easier to punish. His down S2 with the good clone and midair chrono break meter has been decreased lately, and some bug fixes. Oh, I'm so happy about this. Him doing S2 on block, delay cancel, super frame trap is already really stupid. This being like this is great. I like almost never do it because I think it's dumb and I don't like it. So that makes me feel better. Overall, I think the changes are pretty good. The nerf to his backdash and Timewinder going away, I think they're pretty great nerfs. And I think importantly, this nerf like probably needed to happen. Right now, he doesn't actually even want to high-low you that much. Like he does, but like I think throw is just better. They're all good changes. They're nothing like, oh, this guy's fucking dead. but I think they're all stuff that he needed to get. The level that they buffed the characters seems like a lot higher than what most of the nerfs are between Ekko and Ahri and like all the characters we looked at so far. Illaoi wasn't being rewarded for performing difficult combo routes. Yeah, she just has one combo route. The only exception is like in the corner, she does jump LLLS2. That's basically it. To help encourage more routing decisions, we're just lowering damage on Illaoi's mediums and improving the damage on forward S1 just frame and charged H. So she got the universal change. Second hitbox of 2H charge has been slightly improved, so it always combos off the first hit. Down S1 hit stop on interrupt has been increased. Oh, that's a nice change. Tidal swing, soft launches, flip on interrupt. This is also nice. Down S1 as an anti-air is like already pretty good, I think. Tentacles no longer use hit stop when accounting for spawn timings. Tentacles will now spawn at consistent timings when handshake tagging or when hit stop override is interrupted. Oh, that is a weird change. Or a weird thing that happens sometimes where you're just like, what the hell? And like tentacles just appear and you're like surprised. Mid-air S2 block stun and tentacle spawn timings have been adjusted to account for the new tentacle hit stop rule. This is now a true block string. Air S2 is a true block string. Before there would be a gap and you could hit a button and get hit. That was really annoying. Charge H and Illaoi's just frame tentacle were woefully underused and have been significantly improved as combo starters. This will improve her corner combos and create more of a reason to go for her more difficult routes. Charge H no longer causes damage scaling on the second hit. Her forward S2 damage has been increased and just frame tentacle damage is increased by 20. Just frame meter gain hasn't been increased. The thing is like I tested in the combo with this before, did like 20 less damage or something than like the combo with the other thing. So I actually do wonder if this is going to be more damage now. Damage nerfs on standing M, crouching M, mid-air M by 5, which means it's probably better to use H's and charge H's and like the tentacle. Her mid-air S1 meter gain has been decreased by 1. Her ultimate nerf, yeah, it's 5 frames. Her level 3 is 5 frames right now. I don't know if you guys know. It's really crazy. So now it's going to be 9 frames, which is still really fast. So yeah, pretty decent. I think she's already one of the better characters. Nerfs to the characters above her are like more impactful than what she got here. Ahri's ability to fly away being nerfed helps her. Like Ekko being nerfed helps her, right? Having a faster light helps her. Jinx, she struggles against the aggression in the meta, and some of her projectiles aren't being used as often as others. Basically, people only do down rocket, and air down rocket. It's really hard to use her miniguns, and it's really hard to use back S1, which they change. We're improving recovery on flame chompers and the monkeys so that Jinx can throw out projectiles more readily and get some more setups off of throws and knockdowns. The trap comes out 8 frames faster, and chompers no longer causes damage scaling when first hit attached. That is also really nice. This is the charge version. It's 8 frames faster. So this is just the regular one. Startup recovery has been decreased by 2 frames. So total duration has been decreased by 4 frames. And it no longer damage scales when first hit attached. And now does more damage when it connects in neutral and in combos. And it applies to the assist. And the recovery on the monkey is 3 frames faster. How many times have you like dashed up to Jinx and like barely tried to hit her trap and then been too slow and you got hit? That's going to happen even more now. So back S1 buffs. It's scaled damage on each bullet. Anti-airing with it didn't deal much. Also, who the fuck was anti-airing with it? Pow up is now significantly more rewarding on hit and more useful in combo. It now knocks opponents up in the air on ground hit and has adjusted launch arcs. Its stun has been increased by 4 frames. It was 42 frames and now is up to 46. It causes damage scaling on the middle and final bullet and now can be canceled into fishbones or zap after the 6th bullet. And bullets that cause damage scaling now deal 10 more damage, and it also builds more meter. H recovery frame has been decreased by 2 frames, and it's now -9 on block. And you can no longer super it on block, which is nice. And the hitbox has been lowered to hit crouchers more consistently. That's nice. It also hits the chompers more consistent. I was going to say the same thing. Dude, doing chompers into 5H into rocket is probably sick now. Her chip damage is less on her level 3. Her level 3 is really annoying. And then same thing, she got the projectile nerf and her crouching hitbox is longer. Her M damage has been increased by 5. Her first hit of 2M is increased by 10. Her mid-air M has been decreased by 5. And bug fixes. Overall, she got some nice buffs. The system changes nerf her a bit, but I think back S1 and her S2 chainable like that and then getting better traps is like a huge buff. I'm guessing on forward throw now, instead of doing down S2 or like whatever, like I set out something, you could probably put up a trap and then meaty them. She could probably get real pressure after throws and like she just has faster trap startups, which is really good. We accelerated most major Teemo nerfs in our previous balance patch, and we're seeing positive outcomes for these changes. Teemo is still performing, but is not dominating. We're shipping the remaining Teemo nerfs that weren't significant enough to accelerate to the previous balance patch. While these are nerfs, they're designed to clean up remaining inaccuracies or outliers rather than bring down his power level meaningfully. He's got less total duration on this 2 dart and 3 dart. Nerfs on his M, that's a big deal. His 5HH has more recovery frames on block if you don't cancel it. S1 super, the number of darts has been decreased by 1. Damage per dart has been increased by 4. Basically, this is just to make it less annoying for super tag. Retreat is now invulnerable on frame 4 instead of frame 2. Yeah, basically his teleport was insane. He was second frame invuln when he dived into the bush, which is pretty crazy. So this is a pretty nice change. His super assist duration is shorter and throws fewer mushrooms. His bushfire duration was 4 seconds and now it's 2 seconds. It was too long. I think Yasuo wind wall is too long too, also, by the way. Slingshot badge requirement has been increased by 1. Mushroom has been increased by 2. Dart badge has been increased by 3. And then standing hurt box size is increased. Projectile changes are bigger nerfs almost than like any of these, I think, but I think he is quite a bit weaker. I think the system changes needed to happen. The next step for him is he needs some power probably back into his kit solo. He has really good support, like OTG Mushroom Super is really strong. His DHC synergy is really good, but his solo kit I think could use buffs. Like he could use better on block by himself. I think he's gonna be a little bit weaker this patch. Like Jinx and him just got hit by the system changes the most. Her compensation is better because she was weaker than Teemo anyway, but he probably needs stuff to make his solo experience better now. By allowing her to cancel charge S1H into S1 specials. This is pretty crazy. I think this character is going to be so good next patch. We're also buffing fastball assist by letting it hit grounded opponents, OTG super assist, and taking away some power from denting blows. Her sway light now interrupt has the properties of a fully charged hook. As in you can sway light, dash cancel, sway light, or if it's the spin out, then like, yeah, that's probably really good. Charged midair vault breaker damage has been increased by 5. She can now do sway H, and the charge version she can sway cancel and then combo off it. She could not do this before. Opponents can be hit earlier, and your assist can land attacks while the opponent's airborne off of her command grab, which is like a big deal. I wonder what like the change is going to be there. Midair and grounded crater maker, her down S2 does more damage and more advantageous when air blocked, launches the opponent higher, and recovery has been decreased so that her down S2 gives her a frame advantage when you air block it. So some nerfs. Vi will no longer be lower when performing knuckle down footwork, so sway heavy, and will have a hitbox that allows L's to hit her. Yeah, she won't like low profile your standing L. Her S2 now causes 2 hits of damage scaling, and her fastball assist has a weaker vertical hitbox. Oh, this might fix the bug that Diaphone doesn't like. I think she's going to be really strong. I mean, she already is really good, and like these changes are really good for her. Thanos. We focused on 3 changes for Warwick in particular: improving stability, improving bloodlust, and improving underutilized special moves. I had him in the top 5, right? He's really powerful in like a very straightforward way. Like not high effort. So here we go. Many of Warwick's attacks were dropping at unexpected moments. He had like terrible quality of life. I think he needed to pass on this. Many of his moves have had adjustments to launch distance or hit stun. These changes are all minor despite the length of this section, but contributed to a much more stable experience. Forward S1 and Claws of the Beast, S1 travel faster and farther while in Bloodlust. His Walkling is more useful in pressure, and his Spinning Slicer, midair S2, gives more advantage on hit. That's a nice change. L hit stun is higher by 1 frame. M now launches aerial opponents farther. H and charge H has more vertical hitboxes. His combos are really annoying right now, where like his 5Hs and like all this is to be manually delayed, and like he just has a lot of ugly combos. This is the kind of stuff that I wanted him to get always, because I think his combos just feel really gross right now. Down H hit stun has been increased by 1 frame. Charge midair H time has been increased by 1 frame. It was 12 frames, it is now 13, and 2H will now combo into aerial normals more consistently. Down S1 jump height has been increased. Down S1 M will now combo more consistently when performing a primally cancel mid combo, and his down S1 L now launches the opponent less high. His S2 follow-up strikes are more stable. Oftentimes his record just randomly drops, especially on happy birthdays. Increased hitbox size, increased hit stun, and a launching swipe will now launch the opponent higher or lower depending on their position. I'm guessing like higher if they're too low or lower if they're too high. First hit of his midair S2 launch height has been increased, and hit stun has been increased by 6 frames. If you do S2 into S1 super, it works, which is nice for like air combos and stuff, and also so that you're less minus probably. Final hit of down S2 while in Bloodlust now launches the opponent farther. Second to last hit of his S2 super launches the opponent farther. So you have better combo stability. Some hurtbox changes. S1 and forward S1 no longer have a hurtbox on his back foot. I don't even know he had one there. Rage of the Beast no longer has a hurtbox on his inner arm. His slide is now -8, and so it's jab punishable by everybody instead of medium punishable. That's interesting. So this is just the M follow-up from the wall cling, right? It has better block stun. Oftentimes it would just drop or you get like the grounded hit. It was very frustrating to use. So wall cling M has a better hitbox. S1 while in Bloodlust makes him run 30% faster, and his forward S1 now travels 15% farther, and it pushes them further back on block. The second, third, and fourth hits of his Rekka push opponents 20% less far on block. You got a retreating guard to get away from them. Feral Beast, his forward S2 is -8, is now -5. His line of recovery on his spinning slicer final hit has been reduced by 4 frames. It was not particularly useful and is difficult to combo with teammates. We're making its recovery faster so that Warwick can continue pressure and enable additional assist partners. Yeah, it's basically just Ekko, right? You would do like air S2, S2, and call Timewinder. That was like the only thing that could reach. His S2 super has been reduced by 2 frames faster so he can combo better. And his ultimate is faster. Some nerfs. His S1 block stun has been reduced by 2 frames. It's now -8, universal punishable. So everybody can punish his overhead on block. His S2 goes less far. So it might not reach after like 5M actually. And then he got some bug fixes. The thing is about Warwick is I think all of these changes are really nice. His combos feel awful. Like you kind of need to like try for some of his more optimal weird stuff. But when you do, the rate of difficulty versus like things working is really gross. Like I don't know how to describe it, but like his combos just don't work. The other thing about him, Bloodlust, it does not feel that much better a lot of times than his regular form. So I think making his Bloodlust stand out and feel like a lot more powerful is cool. I think the next step is he should be weaker outside of blood, because I think right now he's gonna land a little too powerful probably, right? Like he's gonna be too strong in this version. Did they fix his like forward S2 change in blood? No. I mean, that's a bug fix, right? That should also be fixed. Maybe they can hot fix it, but like his forward S2 also is not supposed to be like that. Yasuo. He continues to be strong in neutral and on offense. To build clearer weaknesses for him, we're giving Yasuo more recovery on his 5M and 2M. The more recovery than other champions have on their medium attacks, but we believe that's an in character for Yasuo to want to take his shots carefully, rather than mash and get a full conversion. Good description. M now has an additional hitbox to hit crouchers more reliably. His 5M is not good, actually, but it is good. Like it's a useful move to have. Because it whiffed on crouch, it felt bad to hit. It still hits standing opponents at a further range than crouchers, but will whiff against crouchers far left often. His 2H hitbox size has been increased. This is like for a dead zone spot. His forward S1 hit stun on grounded opponents has been increased by 8 frames. You could probably do like MH forward S1 stance M, right? His M recovery is more. His 2M recovery is more. His S1 has a reduced hitbox closer to Yasuo and now hits further away. When performing S1, S1, S2, the opponent now falls faster, so you can't do his level 1 super after. And then his midair S1 is now counter hit recovery, increased size of throwable area, and lower hitbox is now removed after S1. I think this move should never work in the air. Like if you call the assist, sure, but I think this move, like beating everything and just being like a fuck it neutral option, is so bad for a character that already has a projectile blocking move, good ways to pull up on you, like a stance that gives them a half screen move that hits grounded and air anti-air, and like all this stuff. This is my least favorite thing about Yasuo. As someone who played a lot of Yasuo, I hated how good Air S1 is. It's just like, why is he like running away from me and then doing Air S1 cross up assist? That shit is so whack. And there's a hurt box behind Yasuo on his forward assist now, which is good too. He got some bug fixes, so cool. These are all nice changes. Quality of life updates. A notification now displays when the game detects an unsupported device or devices that are known to cause input issues. Super meter, noise, sound now play less frequently. His bugle taunts are more glorious. In-game music themes have been updated. Avatar sound effects like run, dash, and jump have been updated. Win streak persists across lobbies. Let's go. Casual lobby win streaks will not transfer to ranked. Win streaks now reset daily. They now end on joining or leaving a duo. And various optimizations have been made to lobby and spectating performance. Accounts that are banned or have inappropriate riot IDs are now unable to change their riot IDs until the ban is over. Disconnection penalties are now applied more consistently. Player profiles display current ranked points alongside ranked info if placement matches have been completed. Unranked players are now unranked instead of aspirant. Nice. There's a volume slider for text-to-speech, and text-to-speech has expanded in the lobby chat. There's now an option to change the input icons in all these places, which is really nice. And the display options are nice changes too. Taunt has been moved down in the list of keybinds. Added a confirmation button before removing a friend, removed the countdown timer from invitation notifications, and made various improvements to the social panel. I'm excited to look at that. The store got some changes and a bunch of bug fixes. Did they fix the bug where like when you do the lobby jump puzzle, it wouldn't play the noise? We'll have to take a look. Anyway, thoughts on buffs, nerfs, changes, everything, system, all that stuff. I think overall, really good changes. I think the nerfs to Ekko Ahri also all pretty reasonable. They're like stuff they needed and they don't destroy the characters and like beat them to a pulp. I think Teemo probably get hit the hardest, but it was mostly the system changes, like not being able to charge slingshot and his stuff going away. The buffs to the other characters are really big. Like I think this version of the game, Braum is gonna be really scary. I think Blitz is gonna be really scary now. I think Darius is gonna be Thanos with the new fireball and the charge hook. I think Vi is gonna be so hard to get off of you. Warwick is gonna be really good in this version. I think he was already really good. If you don't think he's that good already, this patch, you're not gonna like the wolf. I like the patch, it seems good to me. I really like the system changes. The only one I don't know if I like is the backdash, because if Braum is just dashing at me in this version with a shield that beats my strikes and projectiles, a projectile invulnerable tackle, better normals, better lights, better air special, his Poro beats my projectile, like how, and I have a worse backdash, how am I keeping him away? I'm curious what my plan is to not let this character kill me. My main team, Ekko Warwick, and I also play Ekko Ahri sometimes. I don't know what team I'm gonna play now. I'm kind of thinking about trying like Ahri Caitlyn, Ahri Vi, and in 2 months we'll have another character and another balance patch. Who even knows then? I'm hoping the character's a banger because Caitlyn, surprisingly cool. If it's another character where it's surprisingly cool, I think we're gonna all be annoyed. You know what I mean? Let's get a character that's cool and is cool, you know? Yo, at Riot Games, y'all got any like 2xKO partner program? Dude, I played with Sean in League of Legends and he has the League partner program. So he has like every League of Legends skin unlocked. Y'all got any of that League partner pro? Y'all got any of that for me? I'm spending on these cosmetics. They're getting my ass because I'm buying this and I think I'm buying this and I'm pretty sure I'm buying this. You know, I got to keep Teo afloat, right, buddy?